Hey guys, how's it going? It's Zahait here, and we're back with a brand new episode of The Farmer Was Replaced. By popular demand, I am back, and we are gonna try and go over my code from a year ago. So, I mean, if you're following along with the series, from last year, you might notice that some things have changed. There's been a few updates to the game. There is now cactus seeds, cactuses, dinosaurs, and bones. Those things were not a part of the game when I last played. And then I have these piggies here just to prove that this code used to work. I have 1.71 thousand piggies. And you used to get a piggy every time you reset automatically without having to touch anything. So that's where we're at. The piggies, I am told, no longer exist, and a bunch of my codes are broken. But what I'm going to attempt to do is kind of just run you through the logic of where I was at with this code, and then perhaps we can do a follow-up and try to debug this thing and actually start automating cactus seeds and bones. I was playing around with it a little bit in here. Yeah, I was playing around with it a little bit in here just for fun. Cactus and dinosaur stuff. And, I mean, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how it works yet. It's kind of weird. But let's just get into my code. So here's my Go code. And all I am doing is checking if I have the unlock.reset skill available. And if I do, then I am resetting my game. And that's what I was doing. Now, I don't think this is actually in the game anymore. I think this is gone. So already, I found my first bug. We're going to have to figure this out. But from there, upgrade list equals unlock list. So what I was doing is to get all of the things that I needed to upgrade. You guys are going to love this. Uh-oh. Hang on. I'm already making a mess. To get all of the things that I needed to upgrade, I was going into my unlock list, and this thing, you're gonna love this. This is... I'm almost sad I have to show this to you guys. So here, what I have done is I put in a array, basically, or a list of the unlocks that I wanted to do, and I had to check if each one had already been done before I added it to the list, because every time I stopped my code and started it again, it would break if I set it to this one and I already had it unlocked. So I have to check every single one, and if it's not unlocked, then I have to add it to the list. I add it to my dictionary, and I do that for everything. Oh, I'm messing up things again. And I do that for every single thing that I want to unlock. So this is definitely going to have to be debugged, because I know there's limits on certain things now. Like, I don't think 11 and 12 and 13 even exist anymore, so I might have to change those. Some of these things, like this one, doesn't exist anymore, and there's going to be a whole bunch of new ones that aren't even in here yet, so I'm going to have to deal with that at some point. So anyway, that's basically just making a list of things that we're trying to unlock, and then I'm setting my goal. What I'm trying to farm is the goals code at the upgrade list at annex or index 0. So when we're setting our goal, we come into our goals code, and this is setting a goal dictionary value. All of the items, which I already know is going to be a problem because I don't have cactus and I don't have bones in here, so I'm going to have to change that at some point. But once we have all that set to 0, we override it. Then we're getting the cost of each individual component in our string or in our dictionary. And then down here, we're setting the goal for each item. So items.power, we're setting a cost for that, but only if we have sunflowers unlocked. Gold, we have to set that only if we have the mazes unlocked. And then goals for pumpkins, again, only if pumpkins are unlocked, blah, 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 blah. And then if unlocked wood, I don't know. I guess we do have to unlock wood, don't we? Because we start with just wheat. Yeah, okay, we start with just wheat. So if wheat is unlocked, then we have to get the goal for wood as well. And then obviously items hay, get hay cost. I mean, this is just always going to be unlocked, so we don't have to check if hay is unlocked. And then we're just going to return the goal. So now we've set the goal equal to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 to override it, set it to nothing. And then we've come down here and set it to whatever we need the goal to be. And then we return it back. So now it's over here. It's set as our goal variable. So let's close the goals. Now we know what that's doing. Then we're going in here. We're going to can upgrade. So that's just checking if we can upgrade. And this code is checking if, well, first we're setting all of the variables to false. We're assuming that we don't have them. And then we're checking each individual item to see if we do have them. So if we do, then it sets it to true. We check wood. If we have it, then we set it to true. If we have it, we set it to true, blah, blah, blah. We go through all of these things, so I'm going to have to add more of them. We're going to need cactus. We're going to need bone. Then if everything, so these are just booleans we're checking. So if have hay, that just means if it's true, and have wood, and have carrot, have pumpkin, have gold, have power. So if everything is true, return true. So then we're going to return true, which means here, well, can upgrade means, well, true. So if it's true, we're going to unlock the first item from our dictionary at 0. And then we're going to delete that item because we don't need it in our list anymore. So unlock upgrade list 0, and then pop means just delete. So gone. Then if the number unlock, so if we've unlocked everything and our last one is now num unlock, if we're checking if we've unlocked the reset button, so it's greater than 0. If we've unlocked it now, because we just unlocked something, we don't know what it was yet. If we've unlocked the reset, then we're going to reset. So that's going to restart our game. We're good to go. Going to start back over again. Why am I doing this? Oh, because I'm still in here, then I have to reset my upgrade list. So what I did here at the start of my code, I have to do again here. We're overriding it. Now we have to make sure all of those things are coming back because we just restarted the game. We have to repopulate our list. So that's what's happening there. And then I have to reset my goals because that is happening outside of my loop as well. And we're good to go. So if true, right here. Well, true, do this, and then else, well, true, that just is always true. So if we can unlock, do this. Otherwise, well, this is happening. If it's false, then we're going to use our farm goal. And our farm goal, boop, we already know what the goal is. We set the goal here. Then we're going to come up here to our little farm code. And we're going to start farming items. So we're checking if the goal number for hay is greater than the number of hay that we have. If it is, then we need to farm some hay. So we'll go through all of those a little bit here. I don't think we really have to go through them in too much detail because we kind of did it all during the previous episodes, but I'll probably show them anyway because I did make a few changes to them. So then we're checking wood. If the goal of wood is greater than the number that we have, then we farm wood. Same thing, carrots, pumpkins, power, gold. I'm going to have to add the other ones in here, obviously. And then we're just passing. I'm not sure why I put this pass in here. I don't exactly know. But there's a pass in there, and it seemed to have worked. So it's been so long, guys. I'm sorry. I'm still just trying to get through this. It's literally been a year since I played this game, so we're kind of just trying to relearn it on the fly. Okay, so we've got farm hay, get hay, farm hay, farm hay, bingo. So farm hay, if current location, get position X, position Y. So this is just storing a current location, which is wherever we are. And then while the hay goal is greater than the number of items, we are just harvesting and moving to a new location. So that is very simple. Then farming wood, same thing. We're storing our location. And while the wood goal is greater than the number of wood we have, we are farming wood. So we are checking if it's a bush or a tree and can harvest it. We're harvesting. Otherwise, just harvesting. I think that makes sense. Then we're doing the same thing here. If is even. So we did this in a previous one. We're checking our location, X and our location, Y, finding out if it's quote unquote even. And if it is, we are able to plant a tree. We also have to make sure that we've unlocked the tree, because if we haven't unlocked the tree and we're trying to plant the tree, things are going to break. So we have to check if we have it unlocked. If we don't, we are just going to plant a bush. It doesn't even matter if it's even or not. And I probably should have put this in here in an end statement, although I guess it pretty much doesn't really make a difference. I could have just put it in there with an end statement, but anyway, it's fine. It'll work. I mean, it used to work. And then we're moving to a new location, so you'll love that. Perfect. Moving on to the pumpkin farm. Same thing. I think these things are all starting the same way. I'm setting a current location. In this one, I'm actually setting a count and then making a farm size. Setting a variable farm size, which is equal to the number of tiles that I have unlocked. And what this is doing is it is allowing me to count how many pumpkins I've placed so that I can make sure I always have the maximum number of pumpkins. And it's kind of running through counting if there's a pumpkin there, and if there is, then the count goes up by 1. Once it reaches somewhere in here, somewhere in here, if count is greater than farm size times farm size, which means I have counted every single tile, and every single tile has a pumpkin, because I'm going if entity type equals pumpkin and can harvest, then my count is going up by 1. If I'm on it and I can't harvest it, or it's not a pumpkin, then I reset it back to 0. So once I've gone on every single tile and I've confirmed that it's a pumpkin and I can harvest it, then I am harvesting it, and that is allowing me to maximize my pumpkin potential. Now, I can probably show you guys, if I just make a new code, I should probably actually just make a new code, a brand new code, create a new window. All right, let's just do this for a test. I'm not sure if this is what I was doing in my previous one or not, but let's just go farm pumpkin. Farm pumpkin. That should just work, I think. Farm pumpkin has not been defined. Farm, oh, there's not a capital, that's why. Farm pumpkin. Okay, if I play this, starts and stops. What the heck? Oh, I gotta put a goal in there. Hang on, we gotta put a goal. Let's set this to like 200,000 so that it'll work. There we go. Okay, so you're gonna see how it works. So sometimes these pumpkins, they don't spawn. They don't work. So it's going through there and it's putting pumpkins on every single one. Once it has confirmed that everything is a pumpkin and can be harvested, like this one's being a huge pain in the butt right now. There! And then it immediately harvests it. So it's really, really nifty. You're always maximizing your pumpkin potential, which is great, because if you know, the more pumpkin, or the bigger the pumpkin, the more pumpkins you get. Bingo! So it only takes 1 harvest and we get all the pumpkins. So that is perfect. That is exactly what we're trying to do there. So that is what's going on with the pumpkin. Farm flowers. This one I remember being kind of interesting as well. Hang on, let me turn this thing off because it's going to be super annoying. Farm flowers. So again, we are setting current location. Planting equals true. I don't know why I did that. Oh, because there's a phase that this code is going through where it plants everything, and then a phase that it's going through where it's harvesting everything. So we are setting a dictionary value of nothing and an X and Y location as nothing. Farm size, we need to know that. Well, the flower goal is greater than the number of lightning bolts that we have. We are going to start planting. So while planting, which means we're setting it to true to start with, so this is immediately going to start while true. We're going to check if it's a turf. If it's a turf, we're going to till if get ground type equals turf till. I guess you can't plant sunflowers on turf. Maybe that's the problem. So that'll fix that. Get entity type equals none, or get entity type equals entities.sunflower harvest. So if it is none, because I'm not sure why I'm checking if it's none, or a sunflower, we have to get rid of it because it's going to break our code. Then we got to make sure we have the sunflower seeds. So then if we do, we're good. Or if we don't have any sunflower seeds, then we have to trade for seeds. And then we're going to plant. I also have a water code in here, which I have asterisked out. So commented out. So it's not actually running this part. I don't know why I stopped it, but I probably had a reason. So if length of petals, so the length of this equals to 0, petals.append measure x location. Okay, so this is what we're doing here. We're checking if our dictionary is length 0. If it is, then we're just going to stick in the measurement of the petals that we have on the tile that we're on right after we planted. So we've planted, now we're measuring how many petals are on it, and we're also going to store the X and the Y locations. Then if it is, so then once we've done that, if we plant another one and our dictionary for length of petals is no longer 0, it means there's something in there, then we have to start figuring out where in the list we want to stick our current location, because we want to be able to go through this list and identify each one that has the most number of petals in order. So what we're doing is we're going into our list for each item in the petals dictionary. We are checking if the petal, the location I in the petals dictionary is less than the current one that we're standing on top of. If it is, we are going to insert that one into our petal location at location I in the dictionary. And we're going to do the same thing with our X and Y location. And then we're going to break out of this because we're done. We've already stored the variable in our dictionary. We're done. We don't have to do anything else. So if it is not less than, then we have to do I equals the length of our petals minus 1, and then we're going to append the current one that we're standing on at that location, and we're going to append the X and Y location as well, right to the end of our list. So that is how that works. So basically we're checking if every single one is greater than the one we've measured, and we are currently at the end of our list, which length of petals minus 1 is the end of our list, because we're doing index numbers and there's always one less index than there is length, so length minus 1. Then we are just going to append all this stuff to the end of it because it is the end of our list. So we've confirmed that by checking every single one in between right here. So there's that. Then if the length of petals, the length of our dictionary petals is greater than our farm size, greater than or equal to, then we know we are done planting. We do not have to plant any more things. Perfect. Then if length of petals equals 0, planting equals false. Why am I doing this? If length of petals equals 0, planting equals false. Not sure why I'm doing that. I don't know what this is doing. It's been too long. But I know somewhere in here, while length of petals is greater than 0, perfect, we are going to go to the location X and Y that we stored, the first number, location I, or location 0 in our index, and we are going to move to that location, And then we are going to make sure it's a sunflower, which it has to be, so I'm not sure why I'm doing that. At this point, we've already confirmed that it's a sunflower, so I don't know why I'm doing that, but I'm doing it anyway. Then, if we can harvest it, and petals at the 0 equals measure. Why am I doing this? Oh, I'm making sure that the number... I don't think I need to do this either, because this should already have been confirmed. This seems redundant to me. But I'm basically checking if the number of petals at the index that I've stored is equal to the measurement that I'm currently standing on, which they have to be because I stored it based on the... Yeah, so this part here probably is not really necessary, but I've done it anyway. Anyway, we got some stuff we could probably clean up. Then we're harvesting it. We are popping all of the indexes, and let me kind of show you what that looks like. I don't believe I was doing this before. So, farm... What am I doing? Sunflowers? What's the code here? Farm flowers. Let's set this here really quick so you can see what that code looks like. Farm flowers. Okay, so it's going to plant all the sunflowers. It's also storing the number of petals on the sunflower. Now it knows which ones that it needs to harvest in the right order, and it is waiting for them to grow and harvesting them in the right order so we maximize our efficiency. How great is that? And it doesn't necessarily have to... Oh, it's only going to do it one time because I have to run the code again. But every time it plants it, counts the number of petals, stores it, and then it knows exactly where it has to go. And it goes there, waits till the flower can be harvested, and then it just rips through all the rest of them. How cool is that? Right? That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that code. So we will close that down and stop that. Okay, the next one, maze move. Now this one I think is actually just broken now with the new update. But here is where I'm at. We are position x equals 0, position y equals 0. I don't know why I'm doing this. We're setting a direction dictionary and current direction, new direction. All of these are equal to 0. This is just the like default variables. While get entity type equals entity.treasure. Oh, not equal to. Well, it is not equal to. Okay, so we're going to get position x, get position y, current direction plus equals 1. All right, and then if current direction equals 4, current direction equals 0. So someone had commented on a previous video and said I should use modulo, this thing? Modulo? Is this it? That's percent. I think that's the right one, though. So someone had said I should put that in here, and current direction equals current direction modulo 4, I think, is how it works. And then it sets the remainder, basically. I think? I don't know. I'm not super familiar with that stuff. Again, I'm not really a programmer. I'm just a nerd, so... I don't know exactly, but let's continue. So for now, we're going to leave it the way I have it because it works. So current direction, if the current direction is equal to 4, we can't really go to 4 because 4 doesn't exist in our dictionary. So we're going to set it back to 0 and we're going to head south. So there we go. That is how that is working. And position x equals get position x, position y equals get position y, easy peasy. Move to the current direction. And then, what am I doing down here? If get position x equals get position... Oh, okay, we're storing our position and getting our position, and if they're the same thing, then that means I didn't move, so I have to change my direction and try again. So that's all I'm doing down here. I think this code is pretty much the same as what we did in the previous episodes, but we could maybe give it a go just to see. Is it gonna work? Oh, this is just the move. This is just the move. Maze move. We're trying to do farm gold. So while gold goal is greater than the number of items that we have, we are going to make sure we have fertilizer and trade for fertilizer, harvest whatever we're standing on, plant a bush, and make sure it's a hedge. Well, get entity type is not a hedge. O is not a hedge and is not a treasure. Use item fertilizer. Okay, so we're just making sure whatever we're standing on is not a hedge and is not a treasure, and we're just going to keep fertilizing it forever. Then we go into our maze move command, which we just covered until while get entity type is not a treasure. So we're going to do this until we are on a treasure. Then we're done with this code. We're going to come right back here and we're going to harvest. So that is what's happening there. So I should be able to run this code. Oh, my goal is all messed up. I got to cheat it again. Farm gold. Okay, let's try that. Farm golf. Farm gold. Gotta put my hand in the right spot on the keyboard. Okay, so same thing as always. This guy is just doing his thing. I thought there was something about the treasure. I thought there was something in the patch notes about the walls disappearing or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm breaking it with my code, or maybe because I'm still running like an older version, like half this stuff doesn't exist. Maybe the maze part hasn't been updated yet, because the walls definitely don't seem to be disappearing right now. Anyway, I'm not looking forward to having to fix that. But there's where that is. Farm carrots. I don't think there's much to talk about farm carrots. We're just getting location, harvesting carrots, blah, 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 ground soil. I mean, that is pretty straightforward. And all of these get wood, get gold, these are helping set the variables, because some things, when you're setting a goal, require other things. So wood is kind of straightforward. But because you use wood to also get carrots, I have to somehow account for the number of wood that I'm going to need to buy carrot seeds in my get wood goal. So it's a little janky, and I think it would probably work without this, because I would just farm the wood and then I would farm the carrots, and then when I go to unlock it, up here, it's going to realize that it doesn't have enough wood, and then it'll go back and it'll farm wood again. So I probably don't necessarily need to do this, but it's kind of just a first guess at what we're going to need. And I did the same thing for gold. Gets amount of power required and sets minimum. I'm just going to go through these quickly. You guys can pause it if you want to see what I'm actually doing. Get number of base pumpkins. Get amount of fertilizer required. Assumes 5% effective, so I'm adding more pumpkins. Sorry, I'm adding more fertilizer based on how many pumpkins I think I'm going to need. Nope, I'm getting the number of fertilizer I'm going to need based on the number of gold that I think I'm going to need. So that's how that's working. Gets pumpkins required for fertilizer. Yeah, okay, so then I'm taking the number of fertilizer times the get cost, so we're just multiplying that. Basically calculating how much fertilizer I need and calculating the cost of the fertilizer to get the fertilizer for the pumpkins. And I think this is actually an error. This should probably be fert pumps, not num fert. I think that's wrong. Why would I calculate this and then not use it anywhere? I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be fert pumps, but I'm scared to break anything because it was working. So what was probably happening is it was not actually using the right number, but it didn't really matter by the time the code was done. And like I said before, I think if I go in here and I can't unlock it because I used up too many pumpkins, that it would just farm more pumpkins. So it's not really the end of the world, but I'm pretty sure this is just an error. Anyway, there's the pumpkin one. Carrots, same thing. What the heck am I doing here? Gets number of sunflower seeds. Oh, yeah, it's like a whole bunch of code based on how many sunflower seeds I think I'm going to get. Oh God. I was nerding out hard on this. Because sunflower seeds cost carrots, I believe. That's what I'm trying to do here. But so I need to figure out how many carrots I need. Yeah, flower carrots equals flower seeds times get cost. Yep, that is exactly what I was doing. So it was just my attempt at trying to figure out how many items I needed, including buying upgrades for other things. So we're gonna have to do something similar to this for get cactus and get bones, I imagine. Oh my God, I'm not excited. Okay, and then I think this was my attempt at cactus. I should probably rename this. I was farming cactuses with this code just to see what it did. And then this one, what is this one? Bones? I think this one's bones. Let's just see what happens when I hit these buttons. That is not supposed to be happening. Let's hit the go button. Okay, there we go. Cactus. Okay, there we go. We are farming up cactuses. And I don't actually fully get the situation with the cactuses, because it seems completely random how much stuff you're gonna get. If I go back to the cactuses... where am I? Cactus. They have an odd sense of community. When you harvest a cactus, all cacti on the field are harvested. The number of cactus items dropped per cactus is equal to the world size returned by get world size. A cactus only drops cactus items when harvested if it is in sorted order, and you have no way to change this. A cactus is considered to be in sorted order when they're smaller or equal to cactus to the south and west and larger than the ones... So it's like... I think, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it's just completely random. There's no way you can fix this. And every time you mine one, you mine them all. If a cactus is at the edge of the field, the size of a cactus... Like, why would you need to do this? None of this seems to matter. It literally... Oh, you can swap a cactus with its neighbor in any direction using the swap. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I don't like that. How in the heck am I going to do that? I almost need... Can I have a dictionary of dictionaries? I almost need, like, a dictionary for... column full of dictionaries for rows. Wait, that's not even gonna work. How am I gonna do that? Huh. Interesting. If you guys have any great ideas, I would be interested. Drop me a comment down below. Okay, so that is interesting. Very interesting. I did not see that coming. Okay, let's reset all this. And we'll try the bone one. What's going on with the bones? The bones also seemed kind of weird. Dinosaurs. Let's do this. Dinosaurs are ancient, majestic creatures that can be farmed for ancient bones. To get a dinosaur, you have to trade eggs. Okay. Dinosaurs like to move from time to time. The dinosaur will swap with a random neighbor. This swap works just like calling swap manually, except that it happens randomly from time to time. Dinosaurs can be harvested for bones using the harvest command. There are 4 different types of dinosaurs. Harvesting a dinosaur will also harvest all adjacent dinosaurs of the same type. So an entire connected group of dinosaurs will be harvested at once. The type of dinosaur can be measured with measure. This will return a unique number for each type of dinosaur. You can also pass a direction into measure to measure an entity next to the drone. Measure north will measure entity to the north of the drone. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. The number of bones you get depends on the size of the group of dinosaurs you harvest. Harvesting groups up to 4 will drop bones equal to the square of the group size. Groups of size 4 or larger drop bones equal to 4 times the group size. Thus, the number of bones per dinosaur increases with group size up to size 4 and then remains constant. For optimal efficiency, you always want to harvest groups of size 4 or larger. Groups also wrap around the side of the farm. That one seems like I'm not going to want to play around with it too much. I think it's literally just going to be hope for the best. I mean, if the farm is big enough, you're pretty likely to have 4 or more adjacent to each other, right? I think. I don't actually know. Is it 4 immediately adjacent to the one that you're harvesting? Like they have to be these 4, or is it just like 4 touching? You can also, the number of bones depends on the size of the group of the dinosaurs. Okay, so I think it's just 4 touching any direction. It doesn't necessarily have to be 4 around the one that you're harvesting. But I still think I'm just going to be winging that one. I don't think we're going to work too hard. Again, if you got any cool ideas, maybe drop them in the comments. I'd be interested to hear about that. But guys, I hope you loved our little sneak peek here at my old broken code. As you can tell, it does not work anymore. It's saying unlocks.reset doesn't exist because it doesn't. I don't know. It used to be down here, but now it's just leaderboard. Join the leaderboard for the fastest reset time. Okay, we're gonna have to maybe do that, but that's probably something we're gonna do in the next episode. Oh man, I don't want to have to debug everything. Oh, I'm not excited. Anyway, I think we're back on track. It's been so long since I played this game. I was worried I wasn't gonna even know what I was doing. If anybody's done coding in the past and like left it for any amount of time and then tried to get back into it, I was overwhelmed. I thought I was gonna not be able to pull through, but I think I did a decent job. I hope I did. Don't forget, you guys can pause this if you want to go back and see any specific thing. My is even code. Hey, look it! I used modulo. Wow, I am so smart. Go me. That was my past self. I was so much smarter then. Alright, and what do we got here? Just a watering code. I don't know. Water level. I have like different water levels set for different types of vegetables because I think the water level depends how fast it grows. Something that you could play around with, I guess. I don't know. I don't even think I'm watering anything in my current code. It's just not worth it. Gotta buy water buckets and all that. Anyway, guys, we are going to wrap it up right there. I hope you loved this episode. If you did, don't forget to slam that like button. Drop me a comment. Let me know that you want to see some more of it because, I don't know. I like this game, but if there's no interest in it, I don't want to push it. So drop me a comment. Let me know you want to see some more. Maybe we can debug this a little bit together, add a couple more codes, play around with it a bit. We'll see how things go. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for today. I'll see you next time.